Yaga, yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Twizzle Roots. This is Parle in Politics. That's right, we speak in politics up in here. Politics of life, politics of music, whatever. You know what I mean? This week we talking about the BCJ ban in Jamaica. They're banning all types of music that are talking about drugs, violence, jungle justice, Mali, all of them things that they're cutting it out on Jamaican radio. So today I brought on two brothers who are long-standing in the business to just find out their opinion on this whole BCJ ban and the effect that it's actually going to have on dancehall music. So check this out. Yes, y'all. We're here. This is Parlay in Politics, and today we're talking about the BCJ ban on Badman music, and we're also going to be talking about the evolution of dancehall. I've got two brothers here. We were supposed to have three brothers, but one had to dip out. But I got two brothers here with me, and I specifically picked these two brothers because they've been into the scene from the beginning, pretty much, along with myself. So we got Makiru Daja in the place, owner of Kingdom Nubia Radio, Wagwama Bredgen.
Yeah, I'm there. Where I say, thanks for the invite.
Of course,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And then we've got Hoggy B, longtime DJ in the city, longtime DJ in Canada itself, and owner of Evolution, the Evolution platform. What's going on?
Yes. Blessed. You know, as you see, I'm outside in the parking lot enjoying the fresh air and the sunshine and everything, and glad to be on the platform, bro.
Yes, I am. Definitely. Like I said, is guys like you who have been around for such a long time. You guys definitely got that insight, and you've already seen the evolution of dance hall and where it's come from and where it's gone. So
Yes.
will definitely have that great input. So, in regards to the BCJ ban, what effect is it really going to have? As for my opinion, myself, I don't think it's really going to do anything. I mean, back in 2009, they banned Badman music in public in Jamaica. It never really did nothing. So someone like yourself, Daja, who owns a radio station, again, the ban is really only in Jamaica. So how is this even affecting anything?
Well, it's probably not going to affect anything really, except for aside from what's going on in radio in Jamaica. But hopefully, some of the artists will realize that they need to change some of their lyrics and their ways to because they're not only getting banned in Jamaica, the people don't want some of these artists in some other countries because of their lyrics.
Right.
They can't tour, they can't go to certain places because of what they promote. So hopefully things can get back to basics in a little while.
Huggy, what are you saying?
Like, to echo what was just said, I'm not sure what the effects is going to be outside of Jamaica, but I think what it is that the Jamaican government decided that they wanted to take a stand, right? At least to put it out so that there's recognition that there's music out there that they don't want, right? Couple of things that I read even up to today that they're talking about, you know, kids, what are kids listening to, right? They're hearing it in the homes, they're hearing it on the street, and then they're hearing it on the radio. So what they decided is, you know what, you're already hearing it in two places. They don't want it to be that's the only thing you're hearing everywhere. So they just wanted to clean up the radio industry itself, right? Also, I think it's also sends a signal to the artist. And once again, I'm just going to echo what was said before, send a signal to the artist. So telling the artist that, listen, hey, you know what? It's not what should be out there all the time. Right. One other aspect I'm going to go on this is that on a money tip, the artists obviously are trying to make money. And if they look, because I think a few weeks ago, a point was made on Facebook where it said that, look at the African artists. They're singing about peace and love and everything else. And they've got artists making 500,000 a show. And I'm going to say, you got Burna Boy out there, you got Davido, and they're making that kind of money per show. Do we have anybody in dancehall that's making anywhere close to that per show?
I mean, some of the originals. Well, I mean, maybe Beanie Man. Is he even up there?
I'm not gonna listen. I'm gonna tell you as a guy that's been in
I
the
doubt
business.
Beanie Man is making
Beanie is not
500 a show.
he's
No.
not making, when I say five, let's talk about it. $500,000 a show. No, he's not.
Right.
I
Mm-mm.
remember Beanie Man going out for in Canada for 10 grand, 10.5, 7.5 even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the
It
one thing, as you mentioned Afro beats. The one thing with Afro beats that yes, okay, they sing a lot about love and unity and them type of things. But I've noticed lately, I've been seeing an aspect of some of the youths coming in with more of
The
a,
same vibes, the same dancehall vibes.
this,
Yes,
yeah,
right. They're trying
yes,
to
for
emulate.
real.
They
Yeah,
almost all of them want to emulate the Americans. I don't know
and
what
yeah,
the situation is.
yeah.
They all want to emulate the Americans. And as you were saying about the money part, they even say if you censor, let's say you censor a track or you cut out the bad parts of a track, you still can't use that on a promo. Say a dancehall promoter wants to make a promo and he wants to put that on the radio. Even if he cuts out all the bad man parts, they're still not going to allow him to use that track. So these guys are losing out
yeah.
in a small way, but again, there's other avenues: YouTube, Spotify, Apple TV, TikTok. I mean, people listen to music on TikTok. So, how does this really change anything at all? And again, like y'all said, it's gonna have a minor effect.
Well, hopefully it might have a effect in Jamaica. I think the reason they did this is because of they know the music affects the minds of the youths,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the amount of killing that's been going on lately, the kind, and not just killing, the kind of killings. For the longest while, Jamaica never seen no mass killings like in America. And the past few years, that's what they've been seeing. Like a man go out and kill 15, 20 people. That never happened in Jamaica before. Just one here, maybe two, but not now. It's like America now.
Right.
So they figured at home, maybe they can have an effect at home. And if, like I said before, if artists can't tour because nobody want them, they're gonna have to do something if that's what they really want to do.
Huggy, what you got to say?
Well, the art, in terms of music coming out of Jamaica, right? You get big in Jamaica first, and then you blow up worldwide, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once again, it goes back to the points that they're trying to make in Jamaica. Why? What's necessary? Crime is up, even though they've been saying in the last little bit that murders in certain parishes have been down, but overall violent crime has been up. I think today I read something and said by 35%, in a lot of places, as opposed to the same time frame from last year. It's not just murders and all that stuff. In crime, you're looking at also drugs too, because one of the drugs they pointed out was the use of Molly,
Like,
Mm-hmm.
right?
big problem, dog.
Yeah, how it's just blowing up across the island. So all these things, and they're looking for any way that they can combat this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
they just don't want that message just to be every single place. I think that's the biggest thing. They don't want it to be every single place. It's got to be a safe zone where you can hear some good music, you can hear some clean music, because if you're hearing it in everywhere, then it just becomes the only message that's out there. So how do you change the only message that's out there? You either promote your more conscious artists, right? And in effect, this is what they're trying to do as well. Promote the conscious artists, promote the artists that are singing about the love and the peace and everything else, right? Because they're being drowned out. Because at one point they were saying that, you know what, reggae music, that's how reggae music is not playing in Jamaica as much anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
dancehall and trap dancehall and all that, all American based music.
Well,
So by taking this, yeah.
well, what's very interesting about that is here in North America, same thing. We love our dancehall. We also love our reggae too. But when you go to Europe, Germany, Sweden, all of them places, it's dub music, reggae music, the country
Reggae music. Yes.
Yes,
that they
yes.
love and embrace. It's actually unbelievable. Sentinel sound, them type of things. the the way they play dub music is unbelievable.
Yeah,
We need to
yeah.
invest more here.
Hmm.
Rodigan is an example. Look what Rodigan is playing
Yes.
on Thursday nights,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, man.
You know, I think what another big reason that they put this ban on was from 2016 and on. This is when the scamming music started coming through. And
Yes.
they're
Yes.
literally instructing people on how to do these scams, and
Oh yeah.
it's actually it's a terrible thing. It's a really
Hmm.
terrible thing.
Yeah.
So, what another question I have for you guys is: with no punishments, if there's no punishments for this bad man music, I mean, again, is it really going to change it? I mean, I keep kind of going back to what effect it's going to have, but if there's no punishment, they still have the YouTube, they still have all of this. You know, I mean, it looks to me like there's got to be more like yourself, Daja, you on your radio station could say, hey, you know what? We're going to ban this the same way. We're going to push more of the dub music. We're going to push, which you guys already do.
Hmm.
But I
Well,
think,
on KNR, we don't ban anybody from playing anything. They like everybody does what they want to do, but I think everybody has enough sense to know that we have on the station has enough sense to know what people want to hear, what should be played and what can't, and respect for women and respect for people in general by what you say and what you play.
right,
I think the whole this I'm not sure about the ban that because people get fined in Jamaica already. If you go on Jamaica and cuss certain words, police could come drag you off and fine you right there and lock you up. It happened to Sizzler a few times. Him go on stage and start cuss
Yeah.
bomber clocks and
Yeah.
all kind of things. Next thing you know, the man is in jail. So um, I'm not sure if the ban, if some of these artists are allowed to like go on Sting or if they can perform. If they can't perform at those big shows that everybody wants to perform in Jamaica, that that would help out the music scene in Jamaica a little bit. So just have to wait and see, I guess. But most of it, to me, I blame the DJs who are playing the music, because if the DJs are the ones really promoting all the bad man music. Artists can make all the bad man music they want to. It's up to us who's out here running the tunes to decide if we're gonna support that music or not support it.
but also at the same time, bad man music has always been a part of dancehall,
Yes.
Always,
right?
yes.
I mean, dancehall wouldn't be dancehall without
Everybody loves a good Godman lyric tune,
that mess.
but it wasn't like it is now. Like look at the video Skeng is making. That was I watched I one day I sat down and watched about 5 of his videos and they're like, wow, I feel like I'm watching a horror movie. You know what I mean? And youths are watching this, and this is why they're doing the things they're doing. To them, it's not real anymore. It's like a video game to them. Even the video game industry. Look what the video game industry has done to the minds of the youths. It's all on the same line.
And what's very funny about the video game industry is that if you raise the question that what video game, look what that's doing. They say, oh no, studies show that they know it's a video game and it's not
Mhm.
real.
Yeah, yeah,
I hear you.
yeah.
I don't know if I blame the DJs so much as I think it's a society problem, right?
Mhm.
A DJ, yes, he's gonna play some music, but nowadays especially, you're gonna play music that you think people want to hear,
Right.
Mhm.
right? Um, and that's the reality of the situation. So if if the kids and people don't want to hear this, right, then a DJ isn't gonna play it,
Right.
Mhm.
right? Even radio station DJs. Let's look at the business end of it, right? I have, let's say, XYZ radio station, and if my demographic is, let's say, 15 to 25, right? And I go play old souls, then I'm out of business.
Right.
right? So that's one aspect of it. A DJ is on the business end. You're only going to play what you need to play to survive, right? The second of it is that I think it goes back to when the shift. When I say the shift, when there's not enough play in Jamaica, because Jamaica sets the trend for a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if there's not enough representation of good music, right? And good music, it depends on what your definition of good music. I'm just gonna say clean music, right? If it's not getting the footing and the back in Jamaica say backative, right? Or if it's not getting the support, then and it's gonna get drowned out, then there goes the industry as well, right? So there's a bunch of things, and of course Jamaica is one of those places that's always been very Americanized,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So whatever's big and popping in the States, that's what happens in Jamaica, right?
Mhm.
The youths in Jamaica are taking the trap, because the trap and the drill is king, and they're
Mhm.
bringing it, and that's their way to communicate, that's their way to talk, that's what they know. So it's hard to blame any one individual, one entity or individual for this, or one group, whether it's the DJs or not, but it's a whole culmination of things.
Definitely.
That's true. Here's why I put blame on some of the DJs, because when you go to a session now, you come into the dance and they're playing. If you go early, you'll hear some nice reggae music.
Yes.
By midnight, everything turn around. It's a totally different place, and it's dance hall after hype after hype after hype. The DJs now don't know, like how we used to. You bring them up,
Yes.
you bring them back down.
Yes.
You bring them up, you bring them down, and because you bring them up and you keep them at that level the whole time, then you wonder why fights start. You got to bring people down and make them feel good, and then go back into it again. But these new DJs, they just once they get on the dance hall, it's like they don't know how to come out and come off. Like they're locking,
Mm.
you know.
It's like they live in a forward. The whole dance is
Whole,
a
yeah,
forward. You want a
the
forward,
whole thing.
a forward.
Yeah,
Well, you
You
got the money pull up, so you have to you
yeah,
have to you have to get
yeah,
that money.
yeah.
You have to get
It's
that
like,
money,
there it is.
right?
mm,
Nobody's old Taurus Riley. She's Riley giving you money pull up, right?
right.
Skeng is giving you money pull up.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Unless you're the big people dance, right?
Hmm.
Skeng is giving you money pull up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right? And so that also came into where, as you said, in that sense, yeah. So we gotta so when you're gonna blame the DJs, you gotta clarify which set of DJs, right?
Hmm.
So the point now, as you're saying, as DJs in the club, right? A
Yeah.
Right,
DJ, a younger DJ gets in there, and I've seen it. And you know what? As soon as you get that first $5 or $10, that puts you on the trend, and you want to
right,
make money. So you're gonna pay for the guys that are going to um, pay that money, because about a couple weeks back, I was at a hall, and there was me and a couple guys. I got to send a shout out to Up Like Seven Barbers and them, and a couple of them were there, and we're talking about the same thing, how the DJs now are playing for the money,
right.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's, you play for the money, and what gets you the money.
Hmm.
I also want to say the selectors are a bit of a problem, same way, man. The chatting over the music, the screaming, the yelling, the aggressiveness. Like I mean,
For real.
the selectors back in the day used to be smooth. A Rory, a Billy Slaughter, them man, they were smooth. Everything.
Yeah.
Now they just cuss, man, they cuss you into liking a tune. Hey boy,
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah, yeah. True. It's true.
it's a different time.
it really.
It's a different time, right? I'm not going to get into the ills and what, but it's a different time. It's different from my time. It's different from your time, right?
Hmm.
Um, Society has changed. We have to look into that, right? As we all see, the music itself has changed,
Yes.
right? So we can bat up things, but there's always a change, and the change is always going to be, especially to our older generation, the change is always going to be something that we don't like and we can't deal with. And you know what, things usually get worse over time. So every generation gets a little bit worse than we were. Because when we were coming in, we were saying things that our parents didn't want to hear either, right? And the older crowd didn't want to hear either. And now
True.
it's reached a state, it's reached a stage that's um progressed at a faster rate than what happened in our time. In our time, it took a while for us to get to the stage where we were going to let off to a bad word, I think, right? But
Right.
now it's just quick, bam. A change is like bam, 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 bam. Right? So they went from 0 to 6. They went from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, whereas for us to get 0 to 60, we took 10 seconds.
Hmm.
And that's what you're seeing that's out there.
So I want to kind of end this off on just the evolution and of dancehall, and what artists do you see out there right now that are actually gonna step up and maybe make a difference in some way. I mean, I see man's like Agent Sasco doing his thing on the dancehall scene. He doesn't really come off with that negative vibe at all. But like, who is gonna be our next, say, Sean Paul or Beanie Man? I mean, somehow Vibes Cartel still has kind of a stranglehold on dancehall, even from prison. Um,
Hmm.
but I mean, who is there anybody that you guys see as that next superstar in reggae? Because as far as I can tell, a lot of these artists that I see on dancehall, I'm disappointed.
In dancehall, I don't see any clear person who's going to come out here and be the next Shaggy or Sean Paul, like you say. Like all the music that they make, they're not making timeless music. Like, a song that you make and you want to hear it 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Yes.
None of those songs that they're making are going to be that. So like, they're here today and they're gone in 3 months.
Right.
So I don't see that person right now as much. Yeah.
And that's a culture shift. Once again, I think that's a culture shift. That's a society shift as well, right? They don't make. You remember back in the day, I used to talk about. You remember that Maytag washing machine that they said is gonna last you forever?
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't happen nowadays. We're in a disposable society, so everything else has come along that way. We're gonna have to wait a long time for it to revert back where you're getting to a part where somebody's making that kind of music in that genre. And you know what I mean? Because unfortunately, society is it's not just it's not a music problem alone. It's a society thing. This is the way society is heading and has headed. Not even heading, has headed, right? So for me to say that I know somebody that's going to make timeless music in dancehall right now, I'm not sure. To say I got to look for the next Shaggy and the next Sean Paul, maybe that's my generation and a little bit younger than me. Um, how the youth, that generation that's 19 and under coming up now, what they're going to be, it's going to take they're going to find their guy that is able to talk to them for that length of time. And it might not, once again, it might not be the way our guys talk to us and about us.
Hmm.
I think if the newer sounds that are coming out, even in Jamaica, here in North America, England, if they start champion the
Yeah.
reggae side of things and the more dub side of things and start pushing that, I mean, of course, they'll lose money, right? It's just how it is. They will lose money, but I think it will gain traction over time.
Yeah.
Those will be the leaders, the Taurus Rileys, the Jesse Ryle, them type of people. They're gonna be the ones who are gonna champion the new
Well,
dancehall reggae.
well, even Kofi, even Coffee,
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah. How can I forget?
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't forget Coffee because, and maybe that's what the Jamaica government, right, and the Broadcasting Commission, they have in mind. They opening up an avenue so that a fresher set of music is being played. It's not just 24/7 of the trap dancehall, the drill dancehall, and the younger elements is how they're coming in. They're giving them options, right? And so the option is to okay, clean up the music so other things are gonna get played. And that's what is needed. So maybe the impact isn't going to be felt today, but it's going to take time, because now if you get certain DJs to buy into the system, and when I say DJs, I'm going to talk about the radio station DJ. Well, they don't have a choice now, right? So they're gonna play, and hopefully that they're gonna play some of that music. I'm not in favor of banning music and stuff, but I see where it's necessary to create a space for the more positive music.
Yes.
And that's what I think is needed to be done. Whether it's by banning certain things, I don't know, because when you get into that banning stuff, it starts here, and then who knows where it ends up, right? But I realized that a space had to be created for positive cultural music, and that's what they wanted to do. So I'm not going to debate whether what they did is right or wrong, but I realize it's a space that had to be created, and we have to get more people involved in now that the space is created. Now it's got to be more people get involved to carry it, and to, like, Modi and them do it, because if you look at Kingdom New Radio, this is what it's a cultural thing,
Yes.
right?
Knowledge.
Hmm.
So, that's what it is. But it's a space that had to be created, and that's where the intent was.
You know,
Right.
as you say, bro, I mean, I'm all for free speech, but I do see what you're saying where, yeah, you need that space for the positive energy. You can't just have it 24/7, just this badness coming through. It, as Daja was saying, it affects the minds of the youth. Us, we're grown, we can understand where,
Yeah.
but for the
Hmm.
youth, them, there's definitely an issue there.
Well, this all didn't just start with the artists. It's all started when white corporations started buying out all the black record companies and then telling them, this is what you're going to say. This is if you want to get played. And they didn't. It started with hip hop, and then to
Yeah.
dance hall. Everything that we've had our hand in, they buy it out, and then they make deals with people. If you want to play on the radio, if you want to do this, this is what you have to say. People come and they produce their music, the lyrics, and they present it to the A&R rep, and the A&R rep says, "Nah, you got to come and change this, and you want to talk about this, you want to talk about bitch and talk about some black people kind of way." This is what's going on in the industry, and we don't get to see it. Well, I see it because I'm in it, where people presented good lyrics, and A&R rep said, "Nah, you got to change this, and we want to hear more of this." And so it's bigger than just the artist. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the background going on that they're not telling us, which is why Kanye West is talking the way he's talking, even though we know he's a clown, but he's telling some things that are going on behind the scenes that we need to look at.
It's the money.
Yeah,
That's what it is, right?
yeah.
That's
Hmm.
that's what it is. It's the money that made hip hop big. The white executives realized that there was a lot of money to be made from hip hop, so
Hmm.
they're not playing the cultural aspect. They're playing the
No,
money aspect, right? Um, and that's really what it is. If two gunshots is going to get you $1 million, and I love you is going to get you 100,000, then they're going to take the $1 million.
hmm,
Most definitely.
yeah,
Most definitely, man. It's
mm,
a sad thing. It really
yeah,
is a sad thing. I mean, and
Yeah.
that was basically the death of conscious music when it comes to hip hop. From
yeah,
had those conscious MCs, the gurus, KRS-One, Public Enemy, X Clan. There was a time when that was it, and it
right.
just got
What?
washed. It's gone.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
Yeah, I hear you with that. I hear you. The
all
early
right.
hip hop guys lived the life, right? And they talked about it in terms of this is the life we had to live, and this is what we had to do to make it. And then there came a point where it got glorified, right? And it got glorified, especially when the record executive said, "Hey, listen, yeah, they're talking about this is the life we lived, and we had to make it in a struggle, and it's selling, right? So they're
Mhm.
encouraging artists to talk about that. And then some artists, that wasn't necessarily their reality, but they talked
Right.
about it anyway,
Hmm.
right?
Now, let me just check real quickly here, so I didn't want to cut you off, bro, but there was a cultural shift at some point. I can't just blame it all on the ARs and the music companies. There was a cultural shift where at some point people was like, oh, I'm about this gangbang, I'm about this lean, I'm about I don't know where it came from. I don't think any of us know where it actually comes from.
It's also society evolves, and sometimes in the evolution it's actually de-evolves in a certain way, right?
Supposedly it all came from that secret meeting they had with those 15 hip-hop producers or whatever that people keep talking about, and people say they were in the room and they were told this is what's going to happen from now on, and from them, I think it was in the 1980s, somewhere in the 80s, and Seagram's and Warner Brothers and all these people let the artists know if you want to play on the radio, and they also bought out arenas if you want to play in this arena. So they cornered them, all their money places where people can make money as an artist. They cornered them and let them know if you want to be in these venues or on the radio, this is what you're going to have to say. I don't think artists did it on their own. They were told this is the direction that they're going, and now we have what we have now.
I mean, when you speak on the A&R's manufacturing things, when it comes to, say, the East Coast, West Coast beef, that was literally manufactured by...
That was manufactured too. There was no beef. Right?
There was no beef. Tim Dog, remember, if y'all remember when Tim Dog put out that track, F. Compton, that was the A&R told him, you got to do a track like this, and that's going to blow up. And that's what he did. And then all of a sudden, slowly progressed. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
All right, brothers, listen, there's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left here. If y'all got anything else we got to say, or we can wrap it up, brothers.
Well, nothing else for say. I think we said lots already. Just give thanks for the the conversation.
Yes, man, definitely.
People need more convos like this to find out and learn what's going on out here.
Okay. Same thing, man. Thanks for the opportunity. Keep doing what you're doing, right? I remember you sending me the first episode. I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? So yes, keep doing what you're doing.
For sure. Respect. And yeah, I'm going to definitely have both of you guys back on the show again, and we'll be talking about something else. It's Parle in Politics. We talk about whatever up in here. You know?
Yeah,
no doubt. Blessings.
Much blessings and salute.
All right. Peace out.
And there it is right there. Like I said, y'all, that BCJ band, it will do what it does, but it's up to us as the DJs out there, radio owners, platform owners, to try to help push this more positive vibe and get out of this crime music, you know what I mean? And it's up to the artists out there, all you younger artists, if any of y'all is listening, let's get a bit more creative. I mean, you can definitely go ahead and make your bad mind music if you want to, but let's focus a little bit more on some conscious music, on some good loving vibes, unity vibes, that type of thing. And we may say a real positive difference. You know what I'm saying? Big respect to Makiro Daja. Big respect to Huggy B. I'll see y'all soon.
Are you an artist? Are you an artist? Are you an artist who has spent a great deal of time on your music?
Doing your best to get every take just right?
Then why not have someone who has spent a great deal of time in mixology?
Modi Daja is a mixologist,
mixing, recording engineer,
mixmaster, and producer.
However you want to put it, he has the
perfect and proper mix. Perfect and proper mix for your works.
Online mixing is our specialty.
Online mix.
Send your files from anywhere in the world.
Get your mix on a positive journey.
Find Positive Journey Mixing Lounge on Facebook.
Or give us a call
at 226-678-4557. That's 226-678-4557.
Send your files from anywhere in the world.
Check the website Dahmix.com. DAHMIX.com. Dahmix.com.